So Madam Paris, are you in? Yeah, waiting for Madam Paris. Are you in? So good evening, everyone. Karibuni. Thank you, Elizabeth. Madam Paris. Paris. Elphys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm looking
Hello.
for Madam Paris.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you.
I'm here finally, Joyce.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I know people are muted. I was also muted sometimes, but I could hear you, Joyce, screaming, calling me, but I was muted. Now I'm unmuted. Thank you. So let me take this opportunity to welcome each one of us to our second session. The last time we met in July, and some people last week had a recap, or rather a catch-up for those who missed the first session. So maybe before we proceed, and we have one of us volunteering to open for us with a word of prayer. Volunteer, please. You can raise up your hand if you would like to pray for us. If you would like to make an opening prayer, the opening prayer for today, I volunteer. Our participants. Yes, our participants, where are you? A volunteer? There is no one volunteering to pray for us today. Thank you. Techno F1, but kindly you rename your gadget after this. So unmute yourself, Techno F1, and pray for us.
Let's pray. Our everlasting Father, this evening we worship and we give you the glory. Thank you, Father, for the session that we are starting. As we start, we request your presence to be with us. Protect us as we continue. Guide us, oh God. Help us as we learn, oh Jehovah. We worship you and we bless your name. And it is in Jesus' mighty name we do pray and believe.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. And kindly rename your gadget. Rename your gadget. Thank you for the prayer. Otherwise, welcome to our today's session. I want to bring to your attention that we are quite a number of counties represented in this training today. We have almost 17 counties represented here, and that is why you will find that some of our, it will not be me alone and Joyce. We shall be having Mr. Kisilu and also Mr. Karimi, who is the coordinator of the Coastal Region. Mr. Kisilu is the coordinator of the Eastern Region, together with my colleague Joyce in charge of Nakuru, Baringo, and myself in charge of North Rift. So we are quite a number, but we expect many more to join us. I want to believe that maybe the traffic jam or they are still on the road from school going home so that they can join us. So let me make it clear that the group we are, because I saw in the WhatsApp, some people were wondering those who were there last week, who had a makeup class, are they supposed to be in this class also? And I made it clear I made some clarifications in the WhatsApp that this is session 2, and you did session 1 in July, and so we want the ones who were there last week. they were trying to be at par with the ones who went through the training in July. So welcome to this particular session, session 2, and we are now going further from what we did last time. So without much wasting time, I want to, on behalf of our director, we want to declare this workshop or this training for 5 days open officially, so that we can commence. We shall be together up to Friday. And in Kemi, we value a lot of co-facilitation. We shall be co-facilitating. We'll be seeing 2 people coming in, and then we shall be co-teaching with one another. So welcome on board, and congratulations for choosing Kemi as your service provider. So let me hand over the mic now to Madam Joyce.
Okay,
Joyce,
thank you. Thank you, Madam Paris. May I share?
Yeah, you are free to do so, Joyce.
Is it visible? Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible, Madam Paris? Hello, everyone. Madam Paris? Okay, Elphys.
It is okay, Joyce.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. And today's session, we are looking at the concept of comprehensive school health. Comprehensive school health, and as usual, you have to go through the KW. And I don't want us to go to the breakaway rooms. I want us to use the chat, and you tell us what you know about the concept of comprehensive school health. Tell us what you know about the comprehensive school health. Please, let's go to the chat. All right, let's start off. What you know about the comprehensive school health. Use the chat. So what do you know about the comprehensive school health? Please, let's use the chat. Okay, compound cleanliness according to John Kiprotich. Let's move on. Learner safety, school safety, safeguarding the teacher and the learner, understanding the well-being of the learners. Safeguarding the teacher and the learner. Let's go on. Safety measures in school. It is a school where all participants are safe. Safe working environment, welfare of the learner, comprehensive school health. It provides a good environment for teachers and learners. Child-friendly school according to Bruno, learning environment safe and secured. From Bahati, Margaret, learner health and safety. According to Gojiri, safety of the learners, teachers, and the community. Security of the teachers and the learner, according to Esther Kirote. The health of learners in case of outbreak, what steps to take, that is according to Wabwabwa. Mary W. Health behaviors in the school, Michael learner-friendly environment. Let's move on. It's a holistic wellness of the school, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and security. Those are the 5 domains. Well done, Joyce, award. Let's move on. Health-friendly environment in school, according to Nora Murungi. Let's continue. Let's have more people participating. What you know about the comprehensive school health? We are still on it. Let's continue. Environment considering special learners. Conducive environment for learning, according to Michael. Health and conducive environment for teachers, learners, and community, according to Annette Nyambura. First aid given to learners in case there is an accident, according to Waboba. And I'm having the same people giving us responses. Where are the rest? Safe school for everyone. Jabu is telling me I can't get the sound. I hope I'm loud and clear. Let's go on. I need about 10 more responses. Where one is comfortable. No sound, please. Elphys, can you hear me? Elphys, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, friendly learning environment, taking care of the learners in school, using teaching materials, health programs in schools, peaceful environment, focuses on behavior that contribute to health and safety, according to Winfred Kangai. Keep up should be conducive for learning and security. Safe emotional environment, according to Pamela. John, welfare is considered all around. Holistic health is physical, mental, social well-being of the learner, according to Chege. Kimtai, environment that is friendly in terms of health, a learner-friendly environment. Health being in front. Thank you very much for your responses. Let's now go to the second one. What do you want to learn about comprehensive school? Can you tell us what you want? Conducive environment, Mutea, thank you. So can we go to the second one? What you want to learn? What you want to learn? What do you want to learn about the comprehensive school? Strategies for ensuring there's a comprehensive school health. What does it entail, according to Chege? Let's move on. First aid skills, how to have comprehensive school health, how to develop comprehensive school health. I want to know my role, ensuring that my school is comprehensive, has comprehensive school health. Resources that are required, steps to take to ensure, health environment. I need at least 10 more responses before we start off. Steps to take to ensure health environment, according to Waboba. I want to learn how comprehensive health school is applied in schools, stakeholders to school health, how to do it appropriately, the five domains, thank you. How can a special school be fully comprehensive? What is composition of school health? How the program is doing? How to create a conducive health environment in school? How to create a conducive environment, steps to comprehensive health, skills, knowledge to the learners with mental and emotional problems. So I'm hoping by the end of this session, we'll be able to answer all these questions that you have raised on what you want to learn about this comprehensive school health. And that is where we are. We are saying, what is the purpose of having schools in this country? And I have seen so many of you saying it's because you want to work on the 5 domains, which I agree, because you want to equip our learners with knowledge, socio-emotional skills, resilience, critical thinking. And after all this, you're going to look at the 5 domains and understand them, and you see whether they can be able to equip these young learners with the knowledge that they require for them to be able to face even the challenges of life. Access to education and safe, supportive environments have definitely been linked to better health outcomes. Do you agree with that? Because we are saying when your learners are in good health, then definitely we have reduced dropout rates. We'll also be able to have enhanced educational performance, employment, and productivity in the world of work. And that is why we are saying in this session, we are going to explore the concept of comprehensive school, why it is also important. We also look at the pillars, components of the school, of the comprehensive school health. We're also going to look at the goals, the elements, and finally, we examine the concept of emotional health and the stressors. So those are the learning outcomes that by the end of today's session, we should, one, demonstrate the understanding of the concept of the comprehensive school health, appreciate the importance of health and health education, apply skills for maintaining emotional health and managing of the stress. And before I go to this, I want us to look at the domains. Which are these 5 domains that we are talking about? And I want us to go back to the charts and you tell me, we have talked about having a child who is all round. And most of you have told us that for us to be able to have an all round child in a comprehensive school, then we must have the 5 domains. So can you go to the chart and you give me the 5 domains? Which are these 5 domains that we have talked about? Yes. Emotional, thank you, Joshua. Genetic, how, Anne? How genetic? Socially, physically, thank you. Those are 3, I need 2 more. 2 more. Physically, someone has talked about it. Mentally is more of socially, spiritually, thank you. And the last one? The spiritual, emotional, physical, cognitive, social. And I think Elizabeth has completely, and socially has completely summarized it all. That it is the school to make sure that we have all learners who are all around by making sure that we are instilling knowledge that has the 5 domains. And I'm going to look at each one of them. And there we are. That is why we need the school, because we must facilitate the development of the children in those 5 areas: socially, emotionally, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. So before we move there, I want us to go back and you tell me, if it's physical development, how do we achieve it in the school? Physical development, what are the indicators? What will you be looking for in this domain? What will you be looking for? Karemi? What will you be looking for in the first one? So do your learners go for sports and PE activities? Thank you. Sports and PE, Asante. Can you also name for me some of these sports that we involve our learners in? Give me some examples of these sports and PE activities that we are talking about. Yes, football, volleyball, athletics, soccer, ball games, swimming. And I've seen you have also mentioned about the PE. And it's very unfortunate that most of us have turned those PE lessons into subject lessons so that we can be able to finish up our syllabuses, stroke our curriculum. And we are saying it is one of the domains that these learners require. We need them to be physically fit, and therefore it's important that we make sure that we give them this domain. I can see someone is even indicating the ropes, skipping, swimming, drawing, hardball, dancing, wow, and all that, singing, tug of war. That's a good one in the competition. Thank you. Let's go to the second one, the social. How do we achieve this domain in our schools so that they can be able to communicate with each other? Social skill, or the social domain, how do you go about it? Social. How do you achieve the second domain? Debates, thank you. Presentations, thank you. Let's move on. Music, asante sana. Drama, group discussions, thank you. Participation in class. Games and sports, I hope you are still talking about the first domain. Drama, societies, that is where they usually interact with each other. Discussion, groups, role play, thank you. Clubs, presentations, and so on. No, clubs, it's still in the first one, ladies and gentlemen. So we are more talking public speaking. Thank you. What is this assembly, Zipporah, or where we give them a chance to talk to us? I hope that's what you mean. In music, thank you. So let's go to the third domain, the emotional one. Emotional. Emotional. Let's go to emotional. Through guidance and counseling, thank you. That's Esther. I still want more indicators on this. Drawing and emojis, peer counseling, asante sana. Debates, peer counseling, teacher parenting. Wow. I'm learning more from you. Face-to-face talks. Do you have barazas where you also have some talks with them? Peer coaching, life skills. Thank you. Dramas, I hope you are still in the second one. Having dialogue with them according to Stephen Kiludo. Peer counseling. Oh, school open forums, thank you. Mediation, I would like, Wabwaba, how do you go about mediation? Mentorship programs, thank you so much. Problem solving techniques, pastoral care programs. That one now you are way ahead of the teacher, Joyce, because that one I think should go to the fifth domain. All right, let's go to the fourth one, intellectual development. This is more to do with cognitive or acquiring skills for learning. This is now the teaching learning process, isn't it? Science progress is in which one? Social skills, projects, intellectual development. Now let's move on. This is mostly what takes place in class. So she be telling me even the methodologies or strategies you use when you are teaching. How do you make sure that learners are acquiring the cognitive skills? Someone is telling me learning maths. Projects. Elizabeth, I wish you can be able to explain further. Discussions on what? You have to really specify discussions on what, demonstrations on what. Please give me if they are subjects. As a writing, maybe you tell me it's in English. Stephen Kiludo, I need you to specify which are these activities that usually bring out the intellectual development as a narrative writing. Science practicals in science, agriculture practical processes. Wow. Describing events. Let's move on. Let's move on. Describing events. Which subject is that? Poetry, that is English. Composition, competition, writing, peer teaching. Wow. That's also something interesting. All right, thank you. Let's go to the last one, spiritual development, where we build out the morals of these learners. Painting and drawing, that is art and design. Field work in geography, practicals in home science, thank you. Spiritual development, wow. Pastoral care programs, wow, thank you. PPI programs, Christian Union, thank you, Esther. YCSs, that is, I know for Catholics. Okay, Mkonji. How else? Let's move on. So mostly it's about the pastoral programs, and there's a way you do it. There are those ones who have the Christian Union. There are those ones who have the ICSs, the Catholic ones, participating in worship programs, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much for your input. I need to move on briefly. So those are the 5 components that we have talked about: the physical, the emotional, the mental, social, and spiritually. And this one definitely will be able to help us have holistic health to all our learners. So the 5 aspects of holistic health, they enable these learners to truly live each day in their healthiest, can you see that, and happiest way possible, and no area is compromised. So it's important as we teach, let's make sure that we are taking care of the 5 domains. It is very, very sad that most of us have concentrated so much on which one? Which one have you concentrated so much on? The cognitive one, isn't it? Where we want to finish up the syllabuses and we have completely forgotten. That is why even most of all those P lessons are usually ignored and you convert them into subject lessons. So you are saying for us to be able to have a holistic school, then ladies and gentlemen, we must make sure that we are adhering or taking care of the 5 areas of these learners. So then what is a comprehensive school? And I want you to look at what is in inverted commas. We are saying it's a coordinated school health that focuses on behaviors that contribute to the well-being of the learners in your school. And it's not just the learners, we're also talking about the members of staff, the teachers, the non-support staff, and even the families. Because remember, if you have a teacher who is not feeling well or has a family member who is not well, you'll not be able to concentrate on the well-being of the learner. So it's important that when you're looking at the comprehensive school health, it's not just about the learner, but also the people who are in the school community. Because remember, those are the same people who cook for you. And if they're not well, what happens? They will not be able to deliver. So then all these people, they make sure that we have a supportive and healthy environment so that we can nurture the academic growth of these learners. And then we are saying it is an approach that definitely supports the learning outcomes of the students. Even their performance is still part of the comprehensive school health. And that is where we are saying it's a wide area. It captures almost all those 5 domains that we have talked about. It is not just about the mental one or the cognitive one. You must also make sure you are taking care of the emotional domain of these learners. Because if they're not emotionally upright, definitely they will not be able to concentrate in their studies. If they are not physically fit, ladies and gentlemen, they will also not be able to concentrate in class. That is why you find them sleeping all day long. So it's important for them to be fit. And we've seen there are various activities that we need to give them so that they can remain fit. So if there are those PE lessons, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop converting them into subject lessons. Let them go to the field and play football or do other things where they sit down and just have discussions on the issues that affect them. And with that, then you'll be able to have a holistic, comprehensive school health. And then you're also saying there are goals for the comprehensive school health. One, we must at least make sure that we are promoting health and wellness. And remember, we are saying it's not just the learners, it is also the members of staff and their families in the school. Because if one level is affected, ladies and gentlemen, then you will not be able to achieve this objective. And we are saying we also prevent the specific diseases, the disorders and injuries amongst the same group of people who are in the school community, preventing high-risk social behaviors. That is why we need to strengthen even our guidance and counseling departments so that we can be able to take care of the emotional domain of our learners. Peer counseling, you've talked also about it. Intervene to assist children and youth who are in need or at risk, and you know them. They are those ones I'm like now trying to imagine they are from vulnerable homes or broken homes. How do we assist them to make sure they feel at home when they're in school? Because school is their heaven. So they feel wanted when they're in school. Do you know some of the problems you're having or the indiscipline cases you're having in schools is because most of those learners feel unwanted because of where they are coming from. Some of them are from broken homes or homes where parents are involved in immoral activities. And so they think when they come to school now as teachers or as a school community, we should embrace them and accept them. But if we are not able to do that, ladies and gentlemen, then they are in need or they are at risk. And if you don't take care of them, that is where we still have learners burning schools, other indiscipline issues like the drugs, abuse, and so on. Then we are also saying help support those who are already exhibiting special health care needs. And that is why it's important that we also know where they are coming from, their even history. Do they have even the health needs? Are there those ones who are still struggling? How can we be able to help them? You've heard of cases where learners have died in schools because of negligence. Do you want to get there? So it's important that we keep on checking on them. You can even have a medical checkup for them once in a while to be able to know where they are. So with that one, then you'll be able to know the ones who are having issues. So that now when a case arises and a child collapses in school, then you know be held accountable, because you've seen so many of them where the parents have accused us of negligence. Promotes positive health and safety behavior of these learners. So the question I'm asking, and I want us to go then, let's go to the chart. So what is the importance of the school in health programs? The importance of the school in health programs. Importance of the school. In other words, what is the purpose of the school in achieving the health of these learners? Let's use the chart again. Smooth learning. It facilitates smooth learning. Let's move on. What is the purpose of the school in facilitating the health of the learners? Promote self-confidence. Yes, how do you promote self-confidence in these learners? Caroline, I wish you can be able to explain it further. How do we do it? Reduces teacher-learners conflicts. Let me take you back to that question again. I can see, I think there's a problem. The importance of the school in health programs. Importance of the school in health programs. In other words, how does the school help us to achieve a comprehensive health? It provides an environment where a child can be able to be molded in all the domains. Thank you. It is a school that promotes conducive learning environment. Thank you. Teachers are able to offer guidance and counseling. Asante sana. Coordinates activities that mold the learner. Regulating behavior of learners through guidance and counseling. Thank you. That is why we need to enhance guidance and counseling. They feel loved and wanted, and therefore they boost their confidence. Model learners to acquire skills. Thank you. It is in schools where we must make sure the learners feel they are secure. Asante sana Waboba. Provide resources for comprehensive school health programs. Asante sana. It is a conducive learning environment. A child is open. Provides items for the first aid kitty. School provides the facilities to offer physical health. Monitors the well-being of the learners. Provides skills for learners. Enhances confidence and promoting learning. Thank you. It is also a school that provides services and facilities to achieve the CSH. Provide materials and resources for the what is FHE, Helen? Provides basis for understanding what health and so on and so forth. Let us look at what we have here. We are saying schools are an ideal setting to implement health programs. I think you have already given me that point. And we are saying it is also through the school that we are able to reach many people and we introduce the health promotion practices. Do you agree with that? It is the school also that is able to give us the interventions in a variety of ways, learning experiences of these learners, linkages to services. That is why now you also need to make sure that you have the health facilities or centers around you, so that in case of any emergency, you'll be able to take them there. Linkages to services, I'm also trying to imagine it's where we have maybe cases of the fires. Are there people who are around you who can be able to offer you those services? That's what we are saying. So it's important that you have contacts of the linkage to services that can be able, that are in your schools, that in case of any emergency, you have a place where you can run to. We are also saying it's the same environment that can be able to give a supportive, can be supportive to your learners. And then remember, we are saying that these learners are admitted in early stages, and therefore it's important that you make sure that you're instilling in them the skills and attitudes that are needed. And these ones now still take you back to the 5 domains that you must make sure that they are all around children as far as those domains are concerned. And we are saying it is also through schools that we are able to have improved health. The learners are able to concentrate in class, participate, and also retaining them in the school so that they can be able to get the knowledge and the skills that are required. So it is through those health programs in the schools that we are able to reduce the absenteeism of your learners, and we increase enrollment and improves academic performance. The way we looked at it, what is the importance of a comprehensive health, or the CHS? We are saying it is where now, if you are able now to look at all those domains, ladies and gentlemen, definitely even the academic performance of your learners improve. We're also saying we'll have less and less illnesses and diseases, and therefore we reduce the absenteeism, and also you'll be able to increase the enrollment. So there are 5 pillars, and I want us also to use the chart. You can give ideas, the 5 pillars of CHS. You have an idea? Do you know the 5 pillars? Just give just give me about 2, 3, 4 responses on the same. The 5 pillars, or the pillars of the CHS. Social health. Let's move on. That is Riziki. Yes? Just try the pillars of the CHS. Spiritual well-being, mental, health learning, mental health, Caroline Mutenyo, emotional, wow, health school policy, social health, physical. Let's move on. 2 more responses: psychological health, physical and mental health. Asanteni sana for your responses. Let us look at what we have here. There we are saying 1 is the social and physical environment. And this one, I think we have discussed about it in the physical domain. And look at what we also have, that we must make sure we have facilities that also take care of this domain, which includes even the buildings, the grounds, the play space, the equipments that they need. Do they have those balls that we are talking about? What facilities have you provided to make sure that the social and physical environment is taken care of in your school? How is the social life? That is a relationship between now the staff members and the students, even the school staff, even amongst themselves as a school staff, between a caterer and a teacher. How do they interact? How do all these areas in the school interact? The secretaries and the learners, the principal and the teachers, the principal and the staff. Because we are saying for us to be able to achieve the social and physical environment pillar, we must work as one. That's what we are saying. And that's not enough. We are saying in the physical environment, you must make sure that you also provide the facilities that are needed to make sure that this pillar is also achieved. Look at the second one. And I think is the one that is mostly addressed in the cognitive domain, the teaching and learning. Even the strategies you use as you teach, because you have to take care of all the learners in your class. Remember, they are all valid. Are you a role model to your learners? Those are some of the questions that we are asking in this one. Do you have the right documents when you are teaching, or what we refer to as the professional documents? Do you have them, the schemes of work, the lesson plans, the notes, or you still use the yellow notes or the textbooks when you are going to the classroom? Then from there, we are saying that the school must make sure they are coming up with a health policy that must make sure that it is capturing all the management practices, even the decisions that are supposed to be made for each and every issue in the school. So the question I'm asking is, do you have a healthy school policy in your school to be able now to make sure it guides you when you're making decisions of a certain area? So it's important that you come up with a healthy school policy in your school. It is because it's through the same policy that you'll be able to make decisions, rules and procedures that are needed as you promote the health and the well-being of your learners. And you can see the second one, the fourth one, the partnerships and services. What are they? The relationship between the community members. And it's not just what is within the school, even the villagers out there. What kind of a relationship do you have with them? And this is, I usually describe this as, there are some of your schools that have been destroyed by the villagers out there. And they go now tarnishing your school, saying there is nothing good that comes out of it. And you know, when these words spreads, it spreads like fire. And no one is willing to bring their children to your school. That is why you find in a certain environment, you have about 3 primary schools. One has a population of 50, another one is overflowing with over 2,000 learners. The same to the secondary schools. You have 3 within the same locality, and you'll find one with less than 100, that you can't even get enough students to have a neck class. And another one is overflowing with over 2,000 because of the relationship you have with the wider community. Because definitely, ladies and gentlemen, they are the ones that can break or make your school with the various comments they make about your school. There are some of your schools where you had advice like where the teachers had the relationship with the learners. It took place almost 20 years ago. But even today, the villagers still associate that advice with your school. Usipeleke mtoto wako hapo, atapata mimba. And maybe it's a advice that happened a long time ago. What you're trying to say is you must also make sure that you are creating a positive image about your school. How do you market your school, even to the public out there? Those schools that have been identified or we associate with failures, they need now to show the community that they have come out of it and they're doing far much better. So it's important you build partnership with the wider community around you. I've even seen cases where the students want to ban the schools and you see the villagers getting in to try and prevent because they still feel they're associated with the school. Do you have linkages with the local administration, the chiefs? In case there is insecurity in your school, they can be able to help you out. Health personnel, do you have dispensaries around? Do you have the contacts? Or have you been able now to have a linkage with them? In case there's even a breakout, like now these days we hear there is a breakout of cholera. So you have a health emergency, ladies and gentlemen, where will you take it to? Do you have a relationship with the health center that is around your area? That's what you're asking. And other development partners around you, including even the NGOs that can be able to fund a certain project in your school. So it's important that you build partnerships with the wider community, with the local administration, You have so many issues of drugs, and the local administration is the one that can come in and help you out in it. Health personnel, they even come and give you some jabs for vitamins and so on. But they can only be able to do that if you have a good relationship with them. So what you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, that in all these pillars, if they are harmonized, definitely, then your learners will be able to achieve the best their list, and they become health and productive members of the society. And there is a written skill I want you to look at, ladies and gentlemen, as far as those four pillars are concerned. Look at the social and physical environment in your school. How can you rate it? Using the 4 levels. How is it? What is the relationship between the teachers? The relationship between teachers and learners? Relationship amongst learners. Is it good? Is it fair? Is it poor? And you can see now the last one, the last column is now you give us the indicators. How do they relate? What examples can you give us to show that there is a strong relationship between all these people in the school community? Physical environment, do you have playing spaces for them? Because it's unfortunate that some of our schools do not even have a field where the learners can be able to play. You use the spaces outside our classes. Are they enough? Do you have balls? So what do we have to make sure that this number 1 pillar is achieved? Do you have them? If it's very good, well and good, but give us the indicators for it. If it's poor, what do you need to do for you to be able to improve on it? Look at the teaching and learning. How do you incorporate it in your school? How have you incorporated it in your school? Is it good? Is it fair? Is it poor? Give us the indicators to support what you have given us. If it's very good, then you need to tell us, what are the teachers having? The professional documents, are they available? The varied strategies for teaching these learners to make sure that you're taking care of all of them. So what are you doing in this pillar to make sure that you're achieving? You have told us it is good, please tell us. If it is poor, ladies and gentlemen, then tell us the various strategies you need to put in place. Then we have the health school policy. Do you have it? Then you are saying no. If you have it, can you tell us what it entails? Then partnerships and services. We have said this one includes the wider community around you, the local administration who can be able to sort out your issues to do with security, the drug abuse, because some of those villagers are the ones who supply the drugs to your learners. The health centers around you. Do you have a good relationship in case there's a health issue? You can be able to rush there and you get all the help that you need. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the components of a comprehensive school health. Look at all of them. Because I'll ask you a question after this. Health education, physical education, health services, nutrition services, counseling, psychological, social services, healthy school environment, staff health and wellness, and lastly, family and community involvement. And there's only one question I want to ask you. If I come to your school, how will I be able to know that you're achieving these components? For example, if you tell me there's health education, what are the indicators? What will you show me that you're able to achieve the first one? The health services and so on. And I think that is where my next question comes in. Mr. Karimi, or no, Elphys. Elphys?
Yes, Madam Joyce.
I wanted some breakaway rooms, 3 of them. So before you do that, I want to give some instructions. Assess the extent to which your school is achieving each of the following components of a comprehensive school health. And room 1, you handle health education, physical education, and health services. I repeat again, assess the extent to which your school is achieving each of the following components of a comprehensive school health. So if you find yourself in room 1, please handle health, education, physical education, and health services. You can take a screenshot on the same. If you find yourself in room 2, you do learners nutrition, guidance and counseling, and school environment. Or we put them into 2 groups, Karemi. I think that is better.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. So let me revise again. So we'll have 2 rooms. The first room will handle health education, physical education, health services, and learners nutrition up to D. A to D, that is room 1. Room 2, you'll do guidance and counseling, school environment, staff welfare and wellness, family and community involvement. So please take a screenshot so that when you go to your room, you'll be able to know which one you'll handle. So we have 2 rooms. The first room to do A to D, the second room to do E to H. And when you go to those rooms, ladies and gentlemen, please get a chair who will be able now to guide the group. And also there's a secretary who will be able to give us the points that you have discussed. And please, when you are given that prompt to join a group, do it, because we've seen there are so many people who are being left in the main hall, or what we refer to as the no man's land. So can you make sure you join at least either room 1 or 2, and I know Mr. Karemi will give you a prompt to join 1 or 2. So Karemi, so 10 minutes, then after that you close the rooms and come back to the plenary, and then we'll have the presentations. So room 1, you do A to D. Room 2, you do E to H. And look at what we are saying. Assess the extent to which your school has achieved all what is here. A all the way to H in 10 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Karemi.
Madam Joyce.
Yes.
Today I don't have slides to create breakout rooms unless you request Elvis.
Elvis, are you in the room? Elvis. Just look at this question as I look for him. Mr. Karemi, meanwhile, they can be putting in the chat. If you give us health education, tell us how you're achieving it in your school as I look for him. We are still waiting for Elvis. Just put it in the chat as he comes in. Elvis, are you in the room? Are you back? Mr. Karimi? Sorry for that. Can you go to the health education? Just put something on the first one, number A, health education. Yeah, in number A, good grooming, thank you. Posters on good health, thank you, Rosaline. Yeah, in number A, what you're doing to make sure it's being achieved in your school, washing points, asante sana, wow. Putting water points, thank you. First aid kitty, wow. Rokoro, thank you. Health posters, health club, sanitizer centers, seminars on cleanliness. Thank you, Franklin. Let's move on. I know there's a lot on this. Mr. Kiapati, we are not in any room because the person who has the right, we can't reach him. Toilets and latrines, mud scrappers, health talks by experts, promoting clubs that gear on sanitation, Red Cross clubs, wow, good. Putting water and soap for hand washing, thank you. Dust bins, regular cleanness of toilets, oh, good. Dust bins, cleaning the classrooms, educating learners on cleanliness, teaching about health eating, asante sana. And that one is really coming in handy with the CBC. Water points, washing points, cleaning toilets and classrooms. Thank you. Making hair and nails, that is more to do with sensitization, making sure the nails and the hair is short. Thank you. Having sanitation days, asante sana. Let's go to number B. What about physical education? Interclass competition on the physical education and routine cleanliness, checking, thank you. Let's go to number B, physical education. To what extent are you achieving it in your school? Through PE lessons, wow, good. Having a good playground, and I hope you maintain it. Games, thank you. Physical lessons with all learners, wow. Yeah, events, let's take a look at the second one. Mandatory PE lessons, because most of us are usually using them for our lessons, for our subjects. Enough playing ground that is well maintained, thank you. Having interclass competitions in the games, treatment of the school water, thank you, that is part of the health education. Having coaches, game coaches, that's what you mean, Ryan? Participating on games, participating in sports competition, doing roadworks, game days twice a week, wow. Adequate play materials, thank you. Having a gym in school, wow, Betty. Bet, you're way ahead, you even have a gym. Interclass competitions, ensure school games materials are available. Asanteni, let's go to C, health services. Health services. How do you make sure we have the health services, ladies and gentlemen? Having a nurse, asante. Dispensary in the school, good. School nurse. First aid kitty. Partnering with the health centers around us, asante. School nurse, providing, who provides the vaccines? Naomi, I would like to know more about it. Sick bay in school, yeah, that is good. Checking on the quality of food we offer to students. Red Cross clubs, asante. Scouts clubs, dispensaries. We invite the medics to brief learners. So usually have some days for it. Isolation rooms in schools, wow. taking ill students to hospitals, Asante, having a good relationship with the health center around, Asante, a lot of exercises, it's part of health, deworming students, thank you, Annette. Making sure all the learners are using handkerchiefs, not tissue paper, so more of sensitization, isolation centers, giving sanitary to learners, oh, that's nice. Water points, wow. Let's go to the learners nutrition, deworming, thank you. Learners nutrition, lunch program, thank you. Transport for the sick to the hospital, that's okay. Sanitary bins, that is part of the health services, thank you. School feeding programs, making sure the learners are eating fruits at least once a week, balanced diet for boarders, feeding program, inviting medics in school for treatment, that is good, Mugendi, and I hope that one is number C. Special meals to those with special needs, that is good, special diet, feeding programs, having qualified cooking staff, and remember they must have a certificate after every 6 months, giving avocados, balanced diet for learners, feeding programs, teaching learners or sensitization on good health, balanced diet, growing crops to supplement learners' nutrients. Wow. Teaching health habits. Thank you. Can we go to number E, guidance and counseling? How are we achieving it in our schools? Feeding programs, diversifying the menus, yeah. Eating healthy food, beverages, guidance and counseling sessions. We are now in number E. You have GNC every Tuesday, that's a good one. Creating office for GC, thank you. Grouping them according to their age difference, peer counseling, gender meeting, which are programmed, having gender meetings, peer counseling, talks on assembly on GNC, peer counseling, wow. Guidance and counseling in groups regularly, those are the barazas that we are really insisting the teachers must have. It's not just about being teachers, we also need to become parents to these young learners. Because as we said, some of them are from very broken homes and the school is their heaven. So we must make sure we are taking care of their needs. Empowering GNC teachers through seminars. What is this, family? Emily? So GNC is coming out hardy. I hope you have strengthened your guidance and counseling departments and making sure that you are putting the right personnel so that whatever these learners give them, it is in confidentiality. All right, school environment, number F. F, school environment. How are achieving this component of the comprehensive school? CS H, number F. Spacious classrooms, Asante. Having a watchman, whoa. And not just a watchman, please make sure you have the right one. Because some of our schools have watchmen who are over 70 years old. And their work is just to sleep 24/7 and their learners are aware of it. So let's make sure you are putting the right men who are always alert. So anything that is happening in the school compound, they are aware of it. Having ramps, for those special needs children. Alan, I want you to tell me, Jane Gojiri, a learner-friendly environment, what must it have? What are the components of a learner-friendly environment? Space compound, spacious. Having a perimeter fence. Provision of CCTV, good. Fire extinguishers in schools, thank you. Maintaining the grass short and clean. Having no-go zones. Which are these no-go zones areas, Mary? Good classrooms and compound, ramps, fire points, providing enough school classrooms, maintaining flower beds, planting trees for fresh air. Wow. Clean environment and fenced compound. Fill open pits, asante, beautification of the school compound with the flowers and trees, proper lighting, landscaping and improving beauty of the school. That's a good one. Having a principal's lawn corner for relaxing. Dorms classes with grill-free windows. That's good. Let's move on. This one should be a wider area because it mostly cuts across all areas. Dustbins that are conveniently put in various points for litter disposal. Thank you. Spacious classes, painting pavements to make the school beautiful. Definitely doors opening outwards, manned gates by the proper watchmen. Avoid dusty chalks. Setting ornamental gardening. Oh, no-go zones. Okay, sorry. Mary, now I hear you. Septic tank areas. Thank you. Electrical areas. Asante sana. At least now I hear you. Then we have Nyambura talking about the flowering of the school compound. Asante. Let's look at number G. Staff welfare and wellness. Staff welfare and wellness. Let's go to staff welfare and wellness. Yes, clean and supervise laboratory. Thank you, Ambua. Working welfare, which is this welfare? Can you tell me the actual, the indicators of that staff wellness? Teamwork and collaboration, free lunch, delicious menu, welfare, good communication, common tea, good food, balanced diet, taking care of the staff. How? Teamwork, how do you show teamwork? I need to know. This good communication, I want you to give me the details. How do you go about it? Staff tour, that's a good one. For team building activities, you respect each other's opinion, you respect each other, you do team building, there's peer teaching, that's a good one. Welfare organizations, capacity building for staff, that's a good one. Listening to workers' concerns, motivating the teachers and the workers. LDR bash or basha. You come together for parties. You come together parties for teachers. That's good. Retreats for reflection, team teaching. That's a good one. You also visit the sick as a team. Delegation of duties. That's a good one. And you also support each other in times of need. That's also good. Identify colleagues who have challenges and you try to help them out. That's good. Rewarding hardworking workers. That's a good one. Now, Makuni is asking an interesting question. What of where these things aren't happening? And Makuni, you won't tell me there's nothing happening about staff welfare and wellness in your school? Nothing at all. Then they should happen. And now you can see some of the examples some of the schools are giving, rewarding the teachers for a well done job, making sure you are taking them for retreats. Having organized daily fellowship and prayers. It is true, prayers are very critical, and also having a relationship, a fellowship, sorry. Head teachers should be fair to everyone. So it is where we treat each other as equally. Timely payment of salaries, that one now goes to the TSC, team building activities, end of the year parties. So if your school does not have these, now you can be able to get some of these best practices that some of the teachers are now highlighting here. Asante sana, let us go to, can you see something else, Helen Toita? Mentorship programs to help those who have challenges, asante sana. Recommend teachers Transfer. How is that one? Welfare. What is that, Rokoro? Rokoro, I wish you can be able to explain further what you mean by that. Recommend teachers transfer. Appreciation improvements where money for tours is monotonely available. Hey, Pamela, that one is too loaded. I wish you can be able to break it down so that we can be able to understand it. Involvement of teachers in activities, that is what we are saying, the delegation of duties, open door leadership, and so on and so forth. Let us go to the last one. Thank you for your input. Not available, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Now you can see now the examples you are getting from those ones who have them. So you can get a few ideas from here and you also implement in your school. Let's look at the last one, family and community involvement. So how do you involve the parents in the learners, in their children's learning? Having dinner, even dinner together or lunch. Supervising homework together. Oh yeah, take away homework. Having academic clinics where you expect the teachers, the learners and the parent progress of their learners. Thank you. Academic clinics. Invite parents for meetings, sports activities together. That's a good one. Also holding academic clinics together. Involved parents in behavioral change for their learners. Sports day where we invite teachers, pupils, and parents. Wow. Parents days, collaborate with parents to reward learners, enlighten parents on involvement, learning, annual general meetings. It's true, because that is the only way you can be able to give some feedback to the stakeholders. Prize giving days where you invite everyone. Oh, according to Salim, they even have some education clinics, academic clinics, general meeting, school visits. Oh, use learners and staff to preach in the schools neighboring the school. But they have just realized we are concentrating so much on the family involvement. Can you also write something on community involvement? Oh, community. Oh, there's a tree planting day. Oh, yes. Open days, academic talks where parents are invited, school tours together. Can you give me something on community involvement? Community joint mass, thank you. Cleanups, Sunday classes. That one has to do with what, Joshua? Involve parents in students counseling. That is a day for cleaning the environment near the school. Students attending local church, mentorship programs. Discipline. Which one is that on discipline? Community service learning. It is there now. Cleaning the nearby markets once a term. I hope you also invite them when you have the open days. Maybe we have the drama festivals and so on. Wow, youth teams invited to compete with the school teams, but also be very careful. I hope you are able to get the right youth teams, not ones who will come and supply drugs to the students. So I hope you vet them, the ones that you usually use to interact with their learners. Having religious program, farming facilitation. What is that, John? PPI program. And so on and so forth. And I think I'm happy with the responses that you've given. For those schools that do not have them, I hope you have been able to get a few so that you can go out there back to your schools and also implement what the teachers have just told us. Attending Harambe to the nearby community and so on and so forth. And thank you very much for your input. And I beg to stop there. Is there any question that I can address before we go to the next session? That will be
Hello, Madam Joyce. Madam Joyce. Okay, good evening, colleagues. I brief Madam Joyce. She may have audio problems.
Sorry,
but I believe Hello, Madam Joyce. So, as Madam
I went off. Are you there?
Yes, we can hear you, but you have issue to do with sound. I hope you are through with your section. So I would like us to proceed from where Madam Joyce has stopped. And before I begin, I would like to request those who are asking for the registration link, it will come at 7:30. So kindly wait until 7:30, that is when we shall have the registration link. And I want us to proceed with the final section of this presentation, whereby we are going to discuss about the element of health, and also we are going to talk about the emotional health. And for us to kick off this section, I would like us now to have a discussion, now that we're able to take you to breakout rooms, and we are going to discuss that activity. We are going to break out into 3 rooms, and I would like you to take the screenshot of those questions. Those are the questions that you will entail the remaining section. So there'll be 3 rooms. There'll be room 1, whereby we are going to discuss the element of good health, and there are the 4 of them, and how you can achieve them in your school. That is water, sanitation and hygiene, nutrition, disease prevention, control and immunization. Then room 2, if you find yourself in room 2, you'll discuss the importance of emotional health among learners, and what are some of the situations that elevate the stress levels of learners. And number 3, what are some of the psychosocial support that can be offered in a school environment. Then room 3, you are going to highlight various physical symptoms of stress among learners, and you train various strategies that someone can adopt to cope with stress. So those are the 3 areas we are going to discuss today, but I want to take you to 3 breakout rooms for 20 minutes so that you discuss and you come back and give your presentation in the plenary. And the moment you go to breakout room, and I request all of us today, we try as much as possible and we join the group. Some of you are remaining in the plenary and others are not joining, even after receiving the prompt to join, because I can see from my side anybody who have not joined. So kindly join and quickly select the chairperson and the secretary who will now present during the plenary. I'll give you 5 minutes each room to make presentation, then we sum up. So allow me to take you to 3 breakout rooms. And as usual, make sure that you come up with the chairperson and the secretary, and as quickly as possible begin the task. I hope I'm buying time so that you can be able to take the screenshot of those questions for the 3 rooms. So make sure that you take the screenshot. And I'm yet to set the loom prompt. I want to screenshot the question. You are going to get the prompt immediately. So let me take you to the rooms. And you'll be in the room for 20 minutes. So let me create the rooms. There'll be three rooms. And I'm going to give you 20 minutes. And the breakout rooms begins now. So kindly, as quickly as possible, begin the task, hoping you have taken the screenshot of those questions. So the breakout rooms begins now.
Business.
and the areas for cleaning.
Yana ka video. Yana ka video ke hadu.
Yo wanara yo ambera. Endo ka inyo ken ka ita room into kosienda. Ontore dia wita room. No lazima pinyo ke. Nko ndo kulukia ngari unti mikali.
hata sekunde.
Đâu cái đèn tôi cái này cái gì toán cái đó tức là mboga ndio imeisha otherwise mngemaliza
Hey, hello.
ndio ndio ukalinki
Kwa hiyo su kumaliza. Hello.
unasema nini wewe unaambia zamani nilikuwa naingia asubuhi lesson ile asubuhi bila zingine hizo zingine yote hadi unaingia saa 7 na unaingia jioni so 8 plus 3 that's 11 plus weekend na wapiki
Hello, members. I think we can conclude. Can I ask our secretary to? Can I ask Secretary Vivian? You have.
Unmute.
Network problem. I can't hear you well.
I can't hear you too.
Tunaweza endelea.
Tumefika wapi?
Oh, I had network issue. I think we are at number 4, immunization.
Immunization.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I've just entered the group. I don't know where I am really. Please, can you help me where you are? I had problem with the network.
I'm also lost. I'm also lost. Someone guide us.
I've just entered right now. I've been having problem in logging in and the network.
Mine is a late network.
Boy, today is bad.
How far have we reached?
Unless you highlight us what you are doing so that even we can try to join what you are discussing.
We are discussing on how the school can achieve the following elements of good health. Tuko ya mwisho, we have done disease prevention and control. And now we are at the last one, immunization. How the school can achieve that.
I think by
Is that group 3?
Yeah.
Group 1.
By inviting, yeah.
Room 1.
Then I was placed again. I was in group 3.
Oh.
I was in group 3. Then I went again.
Group 1 is intermingling with group 3.
Let us continue. We are doing the same thing.
But we can finish on that. We can do on immunization before the time elapses.
Members of group 3 are done. Already in the room.
So I think
3 seconds.
Okay, let's finish on that immunization.
Maybe inviting specialists.
Yeah. to talk about it.
And also coordinating with the health.
So I would like to welcome members to the plenary. So we are back to the plenary.
On weekly basis to provide.
So can I welcome everybody back to plenary after that discussion? And I want us now to go through the questions that we were discussing in our breakout rooms, and I hope now I'm audible, because there's some people who are saying that I don't know whether the volume was low. So those are the 3 rooms, and I believe that you have something to report. And we are going to begin with room 1. By room 1 was discussing about the elements of good health. And I would like to request the secretary room 1 to take us through their findings concerning those 4 elements, that is water and sanitation, hygiene, that's what we call the WASH, then nutrition, disease prevention, control, and immunization, and how they can be achieved in school. So that is just continuation of what Madam Joyce was talking about on comprehensive school health. So I would like the secretary room 1, and I believe it is Lilian Maina. You can unmute and take us through that question.
No, I am in group 3, not 1.
Okay, thank you. We are going to look for you. So you can name, no, secretary room 1. Who was taking notes for room 1? Kindly, for the sake of time, if you are secretary room 1, you can raise up your hand so that we proceed. Because I was there for 20 minutes we were discussing, so somebody might have noted down what we are discussing. So, Peace Murongo, you are kindly unmute.
Okay, I'm not the secretary, but this is what we have discussed. Huh?
Okay, go on.
Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
Go on.
For the water, sanitation, and hygiene, we have said availability of water taps is important. Provision of water points is also important. And the water should also be treated, so there should be water treatment. Provide clean water for drinking. Provide dust bins. Provide cleaning materials and detergents like soap, they are needed. And also it is important that we provide places for burning used sanitary towels for the girls in girls' schools. Now on nutrition, we have talked about ensuring that balanced diet is available and also adequate food so that the students have enough of it. And also number 3, we have said we can achieve it, disease prevention and control by ensuring that there is clean water, clean enough water, and also the water should be well treated. And also we should have sick bays that are clean and well stocked, of course, with the proper medicine. And we should also have proper drinking water that is treated. And bushes should also be cleaned. And sometimes spraying of those bushes, and we should do away with the stagnant waters so that the environment is clean and free from breeding pests that will cause harm. And also there should be burning of litter and proper cooking of food. And a hygiene inspection should also be done. And then finally, on the immunization, we have said that it is good to have sensitization programs on immunization. And also, it is important that the school coordinates with health facilities that offer this immunization. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Murongo. That is peace. Because I know you had challenge in that room. I was there and there was a lot of challenge in that room, but thank you for coming out to represent the room and for highlighting the key points on the elements of good health. And those are some of the things that you have just discussed concerning the element of good health. And so we are talking about when it comes to water, sanitation, hygiene. The most important point is to ensure that there is clean and safe water. And it should not only be clean and safe, but it should be adequate, because water is very important when it comes to our health. And that is one of the initiatives that schools should make to ensure that always there is availability of clean water for both the runners and even other staff. And when it comes to issues to do with hygiene, and as you have talked about, there are various areas in our school that we should ensure that they are always clean, especially the washing facilities. We're talking of adequate and well-maintained hand washing facilities, especially when learners visit the washrooms, and even maybe when they go out for field activities. It is also important to provide a washing point or facilities where they can wash their hand. And remember, this is one way of ensuring that there is a hygiene and prevention of diseases in our school. Because to our sanitation, we are talking of provision of adequate sanitation facilities, and you have talked about them. And they should be, we are talking for a mixed school, we should have facilities for both boys and girls. And if possible, we are now moving from now the normal toilet, the whole toilet, to a modern ablution block, if possible, modern ablution block. And therefore, Group 1, I do appreciate Madam Peace for that contribution, because I was there and she tried to summarize everything. So, and that was the aspect when it comes to the first element. When it comes to nutrition, here we are talking about the program, feeding program in your school. And when you are providing food for your learners, it is not just the amount of food, but the food that will go a long way in benefiting the learners when they come to growth. Remember, those learners that are at very early, especially if it is in primary school, they are at a very early age, and they require balanced diet to ensure that they do not experience what we call stunted growth. Remember, between the age of 0 to 7, that is when the learners can experience stunted growth. And then the school should be very careful to ensure that the food that they give to those learners in school, and apart from amount, they also balance diet, because when learners are well fed, there's some other benefit that will result. We are talking of even the attention span. When it comes to teaching and learning, it will increase. And also capacity to engage in education experiences, because we don't expect a hungry learner to engage in education experiencing, bearing in mind that these are the learners whose energy, they require a lot of energy. So that's why we are saying when it comes to nutrition, it's always important to ensure that there is light amount, their balanced diet, because there's a point at which the learners require all the nutrients to grow normally. And they're also saying that a good nutrition means eating food that is adequate, because to ensure that the learners grow physically and cognitively. And when they do that, as we said earlier, this one will have a ripple effect when they come to achievement of learning outcome in your school. Then we are talking of disease prevention and control. And here, the most important point to note is that when it comes to preference of diseases in our environment, then they will have a negative effect when it comes to learning. Even at an ordinary situation, those learners that are always out of class or physically out of class because of sickness, they lose a lot. So it is important that the school ensure that there is thorough health education and the implementation of preventive and control regulation intervention. And here we are talking about that there is no stigmatization and discrimination in case of certain diseases. If learners happen to have a certain diseases, it's very important to put in place measures that you prevent stigmatization and discrimination, because it will affect the learning outcome of the achievement of learning outcomes when it comes to this learner. And therefore, the teachers should be well educated when it comes to matter of disease prevention in most of their school. And therefore, school can also support, we are talking about optimal oral health among learners and members of the school community. So those are issues to do with the diseases prevention and control. And then the group talked about immunization, and they summarized it very well. When they talked about that it is important the community, including the school, to sensitize the parent on issue to do with immunization, especially for diseases like measles. And immunization usually protect the learners from even in case the learner gets diseases like measles in future, the learner will not be adversely affected. And the most important here is now to sensitize even the parent on the need of ensuring that the learners acquire full immunization, and they should work together with the health facilities that are available within the school environment to ensure that those learners get mandatory vaccine. Because diseases like measles and smallpox, if they happen to get those learners at later stage, they may have a devastating effect. So the most important thing is the school should go ahead and sensitize parents on importance of immunization. That is what we are, Madam Joss was talking about, issue to do with involving community when it comes to comprehensive school health. Now, I want us now to go to room 2, who are discussing the importance of emotional health among learners and what are some of the situations that elevate stress among learners. So thank you very much, Group 1, for that contribution. Then we go to room 2, Secretary, room 2. You can raise up your hand, Secretary, room 2. Vivian Koesh, can unmute.
Yes, my name is Vivian.
Yes.
In our group, about the importance of emotional health among the learners can be able to give early intervention, or it can be able to give early intervention, therefore preventing the emergence of problems in the future. It also helps to boost the self-esteem of the learners.
Vivian.
Yes, it helps the learners to realize their abilities. Thus,
Vivian,
you can't hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Can we check your connection?
Okay, just check.
You are not continue. You are not audible.
I'm not audible.
She can be heard. She's okay.
Can I be?
Just go on. Yeah, continue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it helps the learners to boost their self-esteem. Also helps the learners to realize their abilities, thus contributing to the success of the class. It also gives the learners the emotional stability, so they can become attentive throughout the learning. Helps the learners to cope with other learners easily. Hello.
Yes, we are
Karami, she's clear.
Hello.
Okay.
It also helps to prevent depression among the learners. About the situations that elevate the stress levels of the learners is continuous poor performance in the classroom, family instability or wrangles in the family, also sicknesses or illnesses on the learners, unfair treatment in school, lack of enough personal effects, bullying by other learners, poverty, which causes lack of the basic needs, food, shelter and clothing, poor relationship with the teachers. And about some of the psychosocial support that can be offered to in the school environment, guidance and counseling, listening to the learners' concerns, engaging them in games and sports, motivating the time takers, also peer counseling, creating families in schools, that is teacher parenting, and also specialized care or attention for learners with the special abilities. Thank you. Those were the points that you were able to discuss in our group.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Vivian, for representing room 2,
Yes.
and thank you for that great work.
Okay.
That you I was in your room. I heard the discussion, so I knew you had done something great. Thank you very much, and congratulations, group 2. You can appreciate your Madam Vivian for that, for well presented work. So, and before I go to members of room 2, it is good to appreciate your secretary for representing you. I want to look at some of the points that Madam Vivian, group 2, came up with when we are talking about the emotional health. And when we are talking of emotional health, we are talking of issues to do that it is important that especially the teachers, that to ensure that the emotional health of the learners is taken care of. Because that in most of the cases, the learner will be experiencing serious challenges that will affect their thoughts, their feeling, and their behavior. And for them to cope with those normal challenges, they need to be stable in terms of their emotions, so that even after they are able to come across those challenges, they are able to bounce back to their normal state. Because unless the emotional health is taken care of, this is one of the areas that schools are likely to experience challenge and to experience a lot of behaviors that are not that will not be positive when it comes to teaching and learning, and it may affect even the way the learners learn in class and the overall performance of the school. And therefore, it is always important to ensure that even as teachers or even as teaching staff, that we are always aware of our emotions, whether they are positive or negative, because we cannot avoid those emotions. Sometimes you'll be feeling low, you'll be getting stressed, you'll be feeling angry, or you'll be feeling sad due to various aspects. But the question is, are you aware of those emotions? And are we able to contain them so that they do not go extreme? At the moment they go to extreme ends, that is when then we start having negative effect to do with the emotions. If we allow our stress to go beyond beyond the limit that we cannot control, then we are even going to experience some physical problems, physical illnesses, like even the stomach ulcers. That is when people start talking of excess acidity, or there's even talk of headache and other things, as we are going to see. And therefore, that one will even affect their productivity. And when they come to class, it will affect the way the learners learn. And in most cases, it can even lead to absenteeism, meaning even the learners will not realize their full potential. Even as a teacher, we will not be able to realize our full potential because of if our emotional health is not taken care of. So it is important in our school to ensure that our emotional health is taken care of. And if not taken care of, there are so many problems that are likely to arise. And we are saying that there are some people who, even as a result of negative emotional health, they end up engaging in other habits like smoking, drinking of alcohol, thinking that they are going to do away with stress. You know, you cannot, and that is when eventually they end up becoming addicted. As a result of smoking to cigarette or drinking alcohol, because of too much stress, they end up being addicted. And that is where, and that which to an extent that they require to be taken even to rehabilitation centers as a result of those habits. It begins with small emotional issues, and eventually it can even lead to diseases like cancer, like what we call the effect. We know that alcohol can even cause illnesses to do with liver. Smoking can lead to cancer, even the cancer of the lungs. The other effect that you realize as like heart diseases and other illnesses. And it is always important, as we said earlier, it is always good to prevent those diseases. And we prevent those diseases by ensuring that the emotional health of our learners and ourselves is taken care of. So this is one of the areas that should be very sensitive, not only to learners, but even us as a teachers. So it is important to note that. And now, some of the things that may elevate stress levels among learners, I asked that question. All of them are here, and you will find them in your e-learning platform. Even something like an exam can make a learner to be very stressed, deadliness, even returning to study, pressure of combining paid work and study. Those are some of the things that now may be at a higher level, maybe in the institution of colleges. And we are also talking about even poor time management can also be stress, and leaving assignment to the last minute. Even us as a teachers, when they come to this program we are taking out TPD, some of you get stressed and they realize that the deadline have reached and you have not even submitted the assignment. That one can be a source of stress. Too much debt, but you have so much freezer, you have a lot of I don't know, you have a lot of debt. Poor housing. Remember, poor environment can also lead to overcrowding is another source of stress. If that is where the learners are living, maybe in a slum area where there is overcrowding, there is poor housing, and there is a lot of noise, it can be a source of stress. And also when you are adjusting to new life environment, maybe you are posted in a new area and you are trying to adjust, then you experience a lot of stress. Difficulty with the personal relationship is just split up. In case you're in a relationship and you experience such incidents as split up, or balancing the demand of family with studying. If you are studying, you have a family, that can also lead to problems, and also parent or problems at home. Those are some of the sources of areas that can lead to the elevated stress among learners. So I want us now to go to the last room, that is room number 3. Room number 3, and so that they can present the finding from their discussion. Secretary, room number 3. Yes, Lillian, Minor.
Yes. We were discussing on the signs of stress, and we came up with a number of them. One of them was crying, withdrawal, violence, restlessness, sadness, quietness, rudeness, lack of grooming, sudden poor performance, faking sickness, low self-esteem, overreaction, change of friends, missing classes or lessons, aggressive behavior, loss of appetite or gaining more appetite, trembling and sweating, stubbornness, nail biting, sleeping in class, foul language, sudden low energy levels displayed by the students, by the learners. We also asked ourselves we also answered the question on how to help them deal with the stress. And these are the points we came up with: through peer counseling, guidance and counseling by the teachers and class teachers, and also the counseling department, involving parents, having physical exercises, inviting motivational speakers, also being friendly to the learners, having family group meetings where they can discuss issues that affect them, being empathetic to the learners. We could also invite other counselors to come and talk to them, and also setting achievable goals to the learners so that they can become less stressed. Also doing referrals to professional counselors, holding barazas, and also having an open communication with environment, with the administration, and also with the teachers. That is what our group came up with.
Thank you very much, Madam, for that presentation. And I want us to proceed. There's somebody who wants elaboration of question number 3. What are some of the psychosocial support that can be offered in school? We are going to come across that. And I want us now to proceed to, before we talk about psychosocial support, I want us now to proceed from where we stopped. And I just wanted to present the group 3 to present the presentation, but we continue with some more. And thank you, group 3, for that well thought out presentation on that area. So members of room 3, you can congratulate your secretary. So examples, we continue now with examples of some of the life stressors. Those are some of the areas that even can still, with the continue our discussion earlier, the areas that can be a source of stress even to ourselves and to the runners. I just wanted to deal with the first, like someone lost a loved one, divorce. I talked about loss of job, increased financial obligation. I talked about earlier, getting married still. Remember, this course is not only meant for learners, even ourselves as teachers, we need to know some of the sources of our stress that can be stress in our life. I talked about even chronic illnesses like cancer that can be also a source, work condition, even aside job assignments that we are given in our schools. If you are given an assignment by your principals or somebody else, can also be a source of stress. Even work politics, how you operate within a school. If there is a lot of politics, it can be a serious source of stress. And interpersonal dealings, how you relate with your colleagues in the staff room, in the school environment, and also emotional problems like depression. But when we talk about psychosocial support, we are talking of strengthening guidance and counseling. The person who was explaining the answer for Roman 3, strengthening guidance and counseling department in your school. That is very important, especially when it comes to learners. That is how you can offer psychosocial support, so that to ensure that when the learners are going through emotional problem, you can be able to support them through guidance and counseling. And if you are not able to offer that, you can call somebody from outside, or you can refer those learners to professional counselors. If you realize that the problem is beyond, or you do not have the skill required to tackle some problem. Another one is you disseminate child-friendly psychosocial messages to learners, maybe in form of through a forum where you call them together and discuss with them, or you provide even written material like pamphlet on how to deal with some of the issues in their life. And also ensuring that there is continuous health monitoring of all staff and learners in school. Here we are not only talking of learners, we're also talking about teachers and even non-teaching staff, because the emotional problem cut across. It cut across learners, teachers, and non-teaching staff. So even the school should have, through the board of management, a guidance and counseling department program for both teaching and non-teaching staff. Therefore, so that is the issue. That is how you can strengthen psychosocial support. And then when it comes to presentation by room 3, this is what we are talking of: physical symptoms of stresses. That is what room 3 we are supposed to present. And those are some of the things, what we call the telltale sign you are supposed to look among the learners, even among yourself as a staff. When can you say that your colleague is undergoing a stressful moment? The person is always complaining of aches and pains. Those are aches and pain. Always maybe they are taking paracetamol, they are taking maramoja. They always experience an unexplained ache and pain. Those are some of the symptoms of stress. Or chest pain, feeling like your heart is racing as a result of a contraction of a muscle, chest pain, chest muscles. Those are some of the, that's another symptom. You feel exhausted and you have problem when it comes to sleeping. Or you have headaches and dizziness or shaking, high blood pressure, muscle tension or jaw clenching, and the stomach or digestive problems, or trouble having sex or weak immune system. So those are some of the things that you can tell that if you are experiencing them or the learner comes to you and tell you that I'm going through some of these symptoms, then you can tell that maybe the learner is undergoing those stress, and then now you can take the required steps in order to help the learner or your colleague. So it is, you can note that. Then another thing that the stress can even have other effects. It can lead to emotional and mental symptoms like anxiety and irritability. You find that your colleague or your learner is always irritable. You ask them something, they are always irritable, or they are always anxious. Also, a depression can also result from stress or panic attacks. And this problem of being sad all the time, you don't have happiness. There is no happiness in your life, meaning you are going through a stressful moment. And what are some of the consequences of those stressful moment or effect? People tend to drink a lot. You know, when people think that they can swallow their problem, they drink a lot, but what they do is just postponing their problems. Others will go to gambling, thinking that maybe they are going to deal with the financial problem. Others may fight, and as a result of fighting, people will become overweight. Others will even develop eating disorder. But instead of eating, they lose appetite. And others may have participating in compulsively sex shopping or internet browsing as a result of stress, smoking, and using drugs. So it is important to note some of those behaviors. If you see somebody is exhibiting those behaviors, those are indication of somebody who is going through stressful moment. Especially, you need to be careful when they come to learners and even your colleague in your school. Then how do you, I don't know whether the group was supposed to do this coping. How do you cope with the stress? These are some of the strategies. Yes, you are supposed to point out some strategies of coping with stress. The most important one is self-awareness of emotions and reactions. We said earlier that a person who is emotionally healthy is a person who is aware of his or her emotion, whether positive or negative, and how to deal with them. That is one coping strategy. Be aware of emotions and have an awareness on how to deal with them. Also, you should be able to express your feeling in an appropriate way. And there is a gender that is have a good mechanism of expressing their stress. And let me say, especially women, they like talking about what they are going through. In most cases, they are not affected by stress much compared to men. And that's why you should express your feelings. Don't harbor your feeling and maybe they are negative before you blow up. And thinking before acting. If you know that you are going through a stressful moment, think before you act, or else you might end up having negative consequences. And learn to manage your stress. Stress will always be there in life. And in fact, a little amount of stress is important in life in order to push us to higher level. Then balance between the work, and have a work-life balance. You balance between your work and your life. Then if you have to carry a lot of work at home, remember you have a family. So if you're not able to balance the two, you may experience a lot of problems. And also take care of your physical health. Through maybe exercising. You need to exercise a lot. especially at this era whereby we are running a lot of alert at any given time. We have a lot of in our hearts. It's always good to have connection, and you connect with other social networks so that you'll be able to learn. Those networks help us to share ideas, cope up with life issues. But if you become a lone ranger, then you'll be having a lot of problems in life. And also, it is important to find a meaning in your life. It's always good to have hope. Somebody is asking here, but how do we balance between work and these many things you have introduced? Hey. Anyway, I mean, I know there are so many things that we have been introduced by our employer, by the government, and so many are coming, but it is up to us as teachers to balance them. Whether it is TPD, whether it is TPAD, whether it is the schoolwork, whether it is social work, all of us are ours, and we have to balance them. So those are some of the strategies that you can undertake, and especially as a teachers, we know as teachers, we usually go through a lot of stress because there is a lot that is being demanded from us. So we have to balance those things and ensure that we are not go beyond, we are not stretched beyond the limit. And I would like now to end the session there with those many remarks. I think that now we have looked at the first session of the session on comprehensive school health. And it is important that the school helps the school community understand and respect potential dangers and responsibility themselves and others. So in our school, we need to be keen on how to ensure that there is we understand what we mean by comprehensive school health. And there is a lot that you are going to find even in our e-learning platform, because what we have presented you is just a summary. You are going to read and you are going to find a lot. So it is important as teachers to be well equipped with comprehensive school health and safety. And there are two hands that are up, and I would like to unmute Michael. You had this up. Michael, don't know whether you have a question or you have a clarification.
No, I don't have a clarification.
Yes.
I just want to appreciate your good presentation. So, because before we began this subtopic, I was a little bit stressed. Concerning working together with this TPD. At least now you have taught us how to balance these two.
Yeah, you only need to manage your time.
Yes.
You avoid procrastinating, especially when it comes to activities to do in the TPD, because you will be lashing at the last minute, and then that is when you experience a lot of stress.
Thank you, sir.
Karibu. Now, I want us now to go to the last section, that is on group processing, and I want us now to use our chat. I'm not going to send you to Breakout again. Can you indicate in your chat and what you have learned and one thing you have contributed to your group? And one thing you have contributed to your group. At least each and every person, you may, and I say that in case you fail to register using the link, if you have been active in the chat, that is enough evidence you participated. Holiness Juliet, how to manage stress. That is what he has learned. Susan, how to manage stress. Winfred, the same. What you have learned today. At least somebody. Symptom of stress, how to manage stress through coping with stress, and Jalibu, symptom of stress. I have learned comprehensive school health, Annette, stress management, Ubasarim, symptom, importance, stress management, that is Nodia. Esther, importance of emotional health. And let me see. Now, how to manage stress. Getau. I want to read this one from Getau. And comprehensive schools, Elizabeth. So comprehensive school, comprehensive schools. Esther, importance of emotional health. They come very fast. How to help stressed learners. That is now. Susan Mulgol, importance of emotional health. Then David, comprehensive school health and why school should maintain. Elizabeth, managing stress, how to manage stress. I want to look to save few. Somebody have learned pillars of CHL, comprehensive school health. That is Agnes Mugambi. And Caroline, I contribute to sign of stress. I want to see what you contributed to the group. Zipporah, what stress can cause? Stress management, that is Emily. Nyandusi, element of school health. Goals of CSH, that is completed school health. And Pismim Blongo, I have learned element of good health. Liam, how stress both teachers and learners also contribute to group. I also contribute to group 2. And how to have good health. How to have good health school. Michael, how to cope with stress and how to balance work and studies. Because of stress, there are so many. I hope we'll get these remarks after we are through, after exiting. Guidance and counseling is very crucial in assisting learners cope with their challenges. That is Rebecca Sikirai. And Vivian, situations that elevate stress levels. Jessica, I contributed to element of school health. Lead me note 6, stress management and creating health environment. Thank you very much. So let's in terms of school health. Thank you very much for all those who have written on the chat on what they have learned, but I would have liked to hear what you contribute to the success of your group. Patience, I contribute by saying causes of stress in group 2. Thank you. And also Mr. Kiabati, strengthening guidance and counseling in school. And Penina Kawela, ways of managing stress. I participated actively in group, especially on courses of management of, so that is Joyce Award. And finally, let me read the final one because there are many. UCAPEL sanitation in school. There are so many of them, but thank you very much for everybody who have put down one thing they have learned. At least when you go, when we are through with this session, you'll have said that you learned something today. Thank you very much for all those who have indicated. And finally, there is something you are going to do in the, I encourage you to go to our learning management system and reflect on what you have learned, what you need to learn more about, and what you liked about the days. It's good to go to our learning management system because we have already talked about what you have learned. I learned that, you have said that. I need to learn more. And what I liked about the day was. So you can go to our learning management system and kindly reflect, because what we are training when it comes to TPD on how to practice the reflections. I can see people are still writing on the chat because we are going to get those whatever you are writing, even after exiting. So thank you very much for all those people who are able to participate until the last minute, unless somebody have a question. If somebody have a question or a question or a remark, you can raise up your hand. I can see Franklin, your hand is up. I'm going to unmute you before we end with a word of prayer. Franklin.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, continue.
Now, I had this question. There was the session 1, which we did earlier on, and
last week.
Not last week.
Or before.
Yes. And the questions that you're supposed to do on the virtual campus, which I had done, but and I had seen that it was graded, but then only to realize that there are other questions which were similar to the same, and I could not be able to find now the grades again. So what was the problem?
You're saying that were they different questions or have you completed the questions?
I had completed, but now the format in which they came later on was different. I think so.
It was different.
Yes, the format, but the questions were just the same.
But you have already attempted them.
I had attempted them, so I didn't attempt now the others that were introduced later. Not the others, actually, they are the same, but now the format in which it was, it came up.
If you have done earlier, you don't have to worry because you have already attempted them earlier.
Yes, because now there was that part of the grade, and then I am not seeing, I cannot see anything.
Okay.
It is the weight, the range, the contribution to cost, but no grades. But I had done them earlier on.
As long as you have done the assignment are still they are still in a learning management system. It does not lose your work. So you should not worry about the assignment. But I'm going to look at. I'm going to check out the people concerned. But there is no way but the system cannot lose your work, so don't get worried.
Is Elvis in this room? Elvis?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you answer that question, maybe?
I have not gotten the question. I've attempted to understand what you are saying, but what you can do maybe because
he's saying his work has disappeared.
You can reach me because
it is not that the work has disappeared. It is only that they did the work in the earlier system, but in the current system, he cannot be able to see the work. The work has not disappeared. Yes.
Okay.
It was short completion. Earlier on, it was 100%. So it is,
what you can do, I think you can. I will leave my number so that you can reach me. We see what you are talking about.
Can you give them your number?
I will put on the chat.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Franklin. And any other person, I know there is that issue whereby initially you are able to see the percentage of your work, and all of a sudden you no longer see the percentage. But one thing you are supposed to know that your work is still with us, because I as a Elvis have alluded, there was a time that the system was upgraded, and that is some of the reason why some of you are still asking, where did the percentage go? But your work is still there. The work, the system does not lose your work. So don't panic because the percentage have disappeared, but the work is still there. So we go to Emily. So thank you, Franklin, for this. I know we have so many people who are fearing that their work is no longer there because percentage have gone back to zero, but work is still there. Emily, you can unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Emily speaking. So my issue is I have really tried assessing the virtual campus, but I have not managed. I have attended these classes from day one last week to date, but I have not been able to do the assignments or anything else in the virtual campus.
So you still have to contact.
Which county?
Meru County.
I have placed my number on the chat. Please reach me. Please reach me from tomorrow. Okay. Please reach me tomorrow.
Thank
if
you.
anyone who has virtual access facing virtual campus, you can reach me on the chat from tomorrow. I will assist you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Elvis. Karemi, we are done. Okay, John, unmute. John, unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question.
on the registration link. I've been trying to register, but I think my phone is not responding. I don't know why. So I've been all through in these lessons, but then when I try to register.
Anyone else who has a challenge, so we can be able to know whether it is just one person? Now una click kwa the form.
Nikiklik na feel mpaka mahali pa kusubmit. Sasa nikifinya kusubmit,
I can see people are saying they are going through Lokoro. Able check your phone settings.
Majority have been able to submit. Even in the chat, they are saying it is going through unless he checks the setting from his end.
Okay.
Yes.
So will there be any problem if
we want to close?
Ninauliza, if I may not be successful now to submit, will there be any problem?
That is why we told you, can you make sure you are participating in the chat and you take a screenshot and so on?
I've been participating.
Okay. Are you participating, or where your name is, you can take a screenshot?
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you. Catherine Nakesa, Nani, Elfis has already given out his number. For those ones who still have a challenge, please call him. He'll be able to sort you out. Okay.
Peace Murongo. Peace Murongo, you had this up.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask about the last week's sessions I have missed. I wanted to catch up. Can I do it on my own?
Allow me to answer that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have recorded those sessions. We're going to post them on the YouTube channel, and we're going to share the links for last week.
Okay, thank you.
Look out for them. You'll be able to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Purity, Mugambi.
Nani, this issue of someone trying to register and is told to sign in, what could be the issue?
Maybe.
Yeah, we require your email address.
Yes,
we require a working email address.
So they key in their email address when they are told to sign in, eh?
Yes, and their password.
Okay.
Madam Purity, we cannot.
There's someone who they want the admission letters. We are working on it, ladies and gentlemen. The admission letters, we let you know when you can be able to print yours. Thank you.
Bet, I can see the hands, and Madam Joyce, the hands are becoming many and many.
Okay.
Bet,
Hello.
continue. Yes.
Oh, mine was closing prayer.
Okay, hello.
Yeah. Yes.
It was what?
Sorry?
Sorry, come again.
Oh, I wanted to pray the closing prayer.
Yeah, okay.
Can I continue?
Kufunga na maombi, which is an order. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Or,
just before we pray.
Yes.
Madam Joyce and Mr. Karemi.
Yes.
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 With
please,
your permission,
Elvis.
can we when we pray first, then we allow the others to leave, then those who have virtual campus issues, I can sort them out.
Okay.
Sorry?
Can we pray first so that the rest can leave, and then those one with issues, I can attend to them, but especially the virtual campus.
Oh, you want to be left to them? That's
yes,
okay.
those ones who are having problems.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Beth, go ahead.
Okay, tuombe. Jehovah Lord, we thank you this evening. We are ending this session. We pray that you continue showering us with your blessings. Thank you for our facilitators and all the teachers who are attending. Even as we end and go into the night, you bless us. I pray that you may continue being with us in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. So those ones who don't have issues can leave. We leave Elfies with those ones who have issues to sort them out.
Yes.
And then, okay, thank you, Elfies. You can take over.
Thank
As
you
we
and
beg
good night.
to leave. Good night, thank you.
You have Emily Nyamo.
Hello.
Emily, did you have a question?
Yes, my problem was about assessing the virtual campus.
Okay, if it's assessing the virtual campus,
Yeah.
I hope you have gotten my number. Please send me a message and include your TSC number. And also mention that I'm unable to access the virtual campus.
Okay.
Then I'll be able to assist you.
Sawa.
Thank you and have a good night.
Good night too, and thank you so much.
We have Rose. Yes, Madam Rose.
Hello?
Madam. Yes, hello.
Yes, I have a problem with joining the virtual campus, but the whole of last week I was in session, but I could not register. But it's by good luck that today I've managed to register. And
Okay.
it is successful. The problem is joining the virtual campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my number shortly on the screen.
Yes.
So that you can be able to assist everyone who has an issue.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yes. We have Holiness. If your question has already been answered, you can lower your hand.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
My problem also is I've been attending all the classes from day one to up to today, but I've been unable to access the virtual campus.
Noted.
Yeah. I've not
Noted.
been able to access the virtual campus.
I will attend to that. Let me share my screen so that you can see my number.
Yes.
You can send me a message. Send me a message on WhatsApp, preferably, so that I can assist you faster.
Okay.
That is my number, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're having an issue with the virtual campus, send me a message. Thank you. We have Joyce. Joyce, do you have a question? Or had you already answered your question?
Hello, Elvis. How are you?
Yes, fine.
Yeah, I think it's sad because I've not done any assignments. I can't access virtual campus, so I'll SMS you tomorrow on WhatsApp.
Please do.
Thank you. Good night.
We have Riziki.
That's all such a hard time, but you know.
Riziki.
I love the little books what surprised me the most because
Yes, Riziki. Hello.
Yeah, I've tried accessing the I have tried accessing the virtual campus. I've done some work there, like
as a father to you,
Sorry?
he's so dull by himself.
It automatically say once you click submit, it is.
Been trying some of the
Sorry, I'm not getting you.
I'm saying
you're breaking.
I have attended
You're
some
breaking.
of them and submitted them.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Yes, proceed.
Okay, just the number. I'll send you an SMS message.
Please do. Preferably on WhatsApp, and make sure you include your TSC number.
Okay, I'll do it now.
Thank you and good night. We have Anne Kimani.
Harder and harder to be successful, not just in his work, but in all the things
Yes.
he cared about. And
yes,
you know, this book was done at such a pivotal time for him. I think
The
that
virtual campus.
it was almost like
You can see my number on the screen. Take it and text me tomorrow. I will assist
And now
you.
the problem is, hello.
Yes.
I thought even the previous time when we had a session in the holiday.
almost
Mm.
And I tried. I have not done it.
Reach me tomorrow. I will assist you.
Get ready.
Okay.
What was the pivotal time?
Good night.
you mentioned? What was so
Then
important about
finally we have Pamela Ngay.
What was from
Pamela, you had a question?
1991, and he was in his
Pamela, are you here with us?
His father had passed away in his mid-50s.
Pamela?
Honestly, I don't.
Okay, she doesn't seem to be here. So
I think this was a
that's my number. Please take it tomorrow.
struggling with a lot of
So
things that
with that, ladies and gentlemen,
well,
thank you and have a very good night.
Real. Gives me great hope.
Good night. You may now leave.
For myself in my mid to late 50s that I can continue to grow and